Good morning. Here it is. Excuse me. Here it is Wednesday morning. It's hump day already. And of course, today is May the 29th. And I certainly hope you had a wonderful Tuesday. It may have seemed kind of like a Monday since Monday was a holiday. Tuesday could have seemed more like a Monday, but anyway, but we're in a short week, and so can't be too awfully bad. But anyway, I hope and pray this morning finds you feeling well and finds you hopefully you're well rested and now ready to tackle the opportunities that God has placed in our path on this Wednesday, on this hump day. But anyway, this morning I want to share with you a devotional entitled "A Bold Confession." When Jesus, remember, spoke to his disciples about his impending death and resurrection. It was as though they didn't hear him. They didn't seem to get it. It appeared to be lost in translation. They weren't paying careful attention to what he was saying to them. I think the problem was the disciples. You see, they had visions of grandeur. In other words, they envisioned Jesus establishing his earthly kingdom. And thought that they would rule and reign with him. And that's why after Jesus, remember, he fed the 5,000. He had to get the disciples out of there as quickly as possible, because the people there that they had seen this miracle, they wanted to make Jesus king by force. But then in Caesarea Philippi, Jesus, he revealed something to his disciples that they really hadn't understood up to that point. And it was simply this: he was going to go and die on a cross. I think it's worth noting that Caesarea Philippi was named after the Greek god Pan. They say today that you can go to Caesarea Philippi and you can see where the people had erected various images to their god. It was a place of full-blown idol worship. And it was in this place that Jesus he asked the disciples a significant question. Matthew 16 verse 13, he asked them, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" Now Jesus, he was challenging the disciples, to make a stand. Being God, he could read people's thoughts, and he did so on many occasions. However, he was asking this question to see, if, his disciples were, if they were getting it, if they were understanding what he was talking about. In other words, basically he was saying, you've seen me calm storms. You've seen me walk on water. You have seen me cast out demons, feed, multitudes, and even raise people from the dead. Do you know who I am? The disciples replied then in Matthew 16:14, some say John the Baptist, some may say Elijah, and others say Jeremiah or one of the other prophets. And then Jesus said in verse 15, but who do you say I am? And then Peter said to him in verse 16, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. I mean, Peter nailed it. And so Jesus then replied in verse 17, you are blessed, Simon, son of John, because my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. You did not learn this from any human being. It's one thing, to say that Jesus is Lord in church, but it's quite another thing to say it maybe at work or in the classroom, in your neighborhood, or in a place of significance or influence. A lot of times, we just want to blend in. We're afraid to stand out, and we're afraid to speak up for what we believe. But remember, Jesus said in Luke chapter 9, verse 26, if anyone is ashamed of me and my message, the Son of Man will be ashamed of that person when he returns in his glory and in the glory of the Father and the holy angels. You know, the Bible doesn't teach that, everyone's going to believe in Jesus. However, everyone will eventually say Jesus Christ is Lord, when they stand before God, and they will kneel to him. Jesus is still asking today, who do you say I am? You see, it's the most important question that we will ever answer, and we need to be bold. In our witness, we need to be bold and stand up and say who we believe Jesus Christ is. He is the Savior of the world. He saved us, and so he can save anybody. And so anyway, I hope that encourages you here on this Wednesday, on this hump day. Hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys. We're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.